wrestling fans. You know, guys, I really like what WWE did tonight. WWE built to the Survivor Series very nicely. Very good. You know, WWE tonight, they really showed us what they were going to do with the Survivor Series, showed us what they were going to do with Brock Lesnar and Rey Mysterio, Seth Rollins, and NXT. They showed us what they were going to do with the majority of their big-time matches. And they put it together in one big package for us. And they showed it nicely. Brock Lesnar went on a tear throughout the first hour of Monday Night Raw. I like how it wasn't a 5-second segment like usual. And he went on a tear and he threw some jobber, maintenance guy into the catering thing backstage, looking for Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio finally found him and took him out with a lead pipe right into his knees. So Rey Mysterio gets the upper hand tonight. Needless to say, wrestling fans, Rey Mysterio and Brock Lesnar promised to be an extraordinary matchup at the Survivor Series. Some of you might not think that it's going to be. I think it's going to be because Brock Lesnar does a tremendous job with shorter lightweights. He just does. Perfect examples: CM Punk, Finn Balor, Daniel Bryan. The list goes on. AJ Styles, the list goes on. Had great matches with all of them. Seth Rollins, what's next for him? He's lost the Universal Championship. He is the modern day Roman Reigns, whether you all want to admit it or not. My co-host for some Friday Night Smackdowns, Jason Funny, he'll be watching this, I know, and I know he'll disagree with me saying this, and I know he'll leave some comment down below. But, wrestling fans, WWE, he is turning into the modern day Roman Reigns. Y'all remember when Roman Reigns was a good guy, and he came out and he got booed and things like that because he was champion and fans didn't want him to be champion for the majority and things of that nature. Well, you know what? That's exactly what's happened to Seth Rollins. He's a good guy. Fans didn't want him to be champion anymore because he was stale and he just didn't seem organic. It was very... everything that he was saying seemed like it was just written for him. And it was shoved down his throat, which means it was coming off very bad towards us. So, what did the majority of the WWE universe do? We rebelled. They said, you know what? We don't want this garbage anymore. Put it on someone else. Right? So, what did we do? We got Bray Wyatt, the Fiend, as the Universal Champion. And people love it. Seth Rollins, what's next for him? NXT. I would love it if we saw NXT and their group of men, 5, taking on Seth Rollins, leading 4 extra Raw superstars in a traditional 5-on-5 Survivor Series elimination tag team matchup. Would be absolutely awesome. You know, it's Raw versus Smackdown versus NXT. Nothing in those rules says it has to be exactly Raw versus Smackdown versus NXT in every single matchup. like we're seeing in the tag team matches, in the tag team title matchups, and like we're seeing in the women's matchup with all three titles champions. Never says it has to be that with every single matchup. So, have it NXT versus Monday Night Raw in that. Then maybe have NXT versus SmackDown or Raw versus SmackDown. Something along those lines. Showcase in different ways of that nature. I think that'd be great. Don't put the NXT Championship on the line. Have Adam Cole lead the traditional 5-on-5 Survivor Series match against Seth Rollins' team. I'd like to see it. You ended with a disqualification during tonight's matchup. That right there could set up the match. That right there could set up the match alone. Or I don't know. Maybe they're putting Triple H in it. Triple H is the one that set it up. We'll find out in the upcoming weeks. But should be a good contest. Whatever Seth Rollins is in, and whatever who he's going up against. But what I'm really looking forward to outside of Seth Rollins and outside of Brock Lesnar versus Rey Mysterio is the women's matchup. Shayna Baszler, Becky Lynch, and Bayley. Shayna Baszler and Becky Lynch had a nose-to-nose, face-to-face backstage area. It was awesome. That interview was priceless. Honestly, can't wait to see which one, breaks, tears their arm, their limb off. Honestly, you want to know the truth. Because that was, if you could say there was an intense promo for here recently, that was it, wrestling fans. That was an intense promo. I really enjoyed it. And if you haven't seen it, go back and watch. You will enjoy it as well. Now, outside of that, we saw Buddy Murphy beat Cedric Alexander. There wasn't much to that. You want to know the truth. Andrade and Selena Vega beat Sin Cara and whoever's with him. I'm not sure who's with him yet. But it was a mixed tag team matchup. And is this going to do anything for Andrade and Selena Vega? Absolutely not. It was filler time for Monday Night Raw. Rusev took on Drew McIntyre. And I have nothing to say about this because this has to do with the love affair of Rusev, Lana, and Bobby Lashley. And I really could care less about this. I'm ready for Rusev to get in something more important. Maybe a United States Championship matchup. But AJ Styles has to get done with Humberto Carrillo before we get to anything like that. So, Rusev, please get done with Bobby Trashley or Almighty Cringely or whatever nickname people on the internet want to come up with him. I came up with Almighty Cringely a long time ago. I just haven't felt like saying it here recently. Charlotte and Natalya beat the Kabuki Warriors. I'm tired of seeing champions lose and 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 lose like they are forgettable, disgusting, losers of a champion. Beat them once, beat them twice maybe. After that, go back and forth, even though I don't like 50-50 booking, or just have segments backstage or outside in the arena up to the matchup. Stop having champions lose like they're nobodies. And outside of that, there really wasn't anything on Monday Night Raw. Pretty good show, pretty good build, And can't wait to see what happens on Smackdown. But give me a like, subscribe, amongst everything that I mentioned at the beginning and middle of this podcast. And until I see you again, this is Webby, and I'll catch you all on the other side. Talk to you later.